Welcome to StayfDraws. I'm Stayf, a Dutch illustrator and animator. And in this video I'm going to draw one of the Pokemon Go characters. And I found one which I found very cute, and I don't know the name of the character, but I'm going to draw it in Procreate on the iPad with Apple Pencil. So I'm first going to start out with the basic design, and I always do my illustrations in certain parts. So I'm first going to start out with the basic shape of the face, and that's a circle, and I always draw in some guidelines so you know where you can place your eyes and other features of a character. I draw in the basic shape of the ears, and they're a bit pointy. Then I draw the rest of the body, and that's a bit of a round shape. I was in San Diego at the Comic-Con in, I think it was 1998, and there was a hype when it first came out, and there was a workshop or an event with the marketing specialist of Pokemon, and they said, well, now it's going to be very popular in the USA, and next September in 1998 or 1999, I'm not sure which date it was, we're going to conquer Europe. And they did. And now with Pokemon Go, they really have a hit on their hand. What I do when I animate a character, you always have to think in shapes, and everything you draw has to be in perspective. So I always draw some perspective lines so to know where you can place the character, because otherwise it will float, and all of the Pokemon characters seem to float, but I just want to draw it most accurately, and I think this is Eevee. So I'm gonna sketch the rest, and the tail is a very big shape. Just going to draw in the eyes. On a separate layer I will do the inks, and I will lower the opacity of the sketch so I can ink it, and I ink it with a different brush. I have my own brush which is called StayfDraws-Ink, and I'll leave a link in the description box down below, so if you want to have that ink brush you can download it on my site. So I'm now going to ink it, and with Procreate 3.1 now you have streamline. So if you want to have smooth inks, you can adjust the streamline of your inks. So I just use that a little bit, and when I'm finished with the inks I use ColorDrop, so I can drop in the colors and just select the basic colors. It's a bit of an orange, and when I've done that I'll create another layer and to do the cell shading, because the characters were also designed for animation, and they had a lot of cell shading, so to give them more depth. Now I'll do that on a separate layer, and I'll put that on multiply, and then you can just do the shading in one color shade, and it won't affect the rest of your painting, so you can do the shading a lot faster. And then I'll put the transparency down. I'll put a little bit of a blur on the cell shading, so it's a little bit more soft. So this is Eevee. So this is how you draw Eevee of Pokemon. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up or subscribe to my channel. In that way you won't miss a single video. Drawing is fun and practice makes perfect. See you next time. Doodles!